headset like actually on? Ah. Supposed to be hearing something right now, which if I had to guess, I would say no. In fact, let me go ahead and yep. Supposed to be hearing something right. Oh, hear my. Let me just turn off my headset real quick. See if that does it. Oh, it's because my headset was turned off. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. Note to self: music cannot be played through the headset if the headset is in the off position. Okay, I see. What a revolutionary concept. Ron, thank you so much for the reading. Why do I even still have that duel down there? Ow. Oh, does duel this thing even work right now? I know Tits was acting up. Let me check something real quick. Okay, ow. Yeah, it still works. Okay, just double checking. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber. I'm here to let you know that if I can do it, so can you. And today, I am EP. I am EP Bobeep with Lizard CP. That means absolutely nothing. It's nonsense. I'm a little out of it today. Partly because the weekend was it was a little extra. Part of it was my big announcement on Friday, which is I'm going to be cutting out my Wednesday streams, and then once Nuzlocke has wrapped up, I'll be cutting out my Friday streams. They'll be not gone entirely. I'm still going to be doing collabs with my friends. I'm still going to be showing up on their streams, and I still have some group projects that I plan on doing on my channel as well. But I'm really going to cut back on streaming so I can focus more on actual video creation. I've got my Yuri on Ice essay currently in the editing pipeline. It's been like a couple hours editing, 4 minutes this morning. If that tells you anything about how long it's going to take to get through this, I expect it to take about, we'll say 2 to 3 weeks on the more generous side. Lizzie the Scissor. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. I also have a couple of shorts I do want to put out for some smaller thoughts that aren't really like big enough to make a whole essay out of. Just really small hyper focuses, like splurge of the moment hyper focus type stuff. We'll see if I can fit those in now. And I really want to get back into writing. I've had to spend these past few months really relearning how to fail, relearning the correct mindset in order to create art. And now that I feel like I'm getting back there, I'm ready. Hey, I am reeling and wable. Take 2. I am willing and able to actually put in the extra hours it would take to make a lot of those projects reality. So we have some fun stuff coming down the pipeline. We have some exciting stuff. And, you know, once I've gotten a bit of that set up, once I have a bit of a bigger audience from making videos, from writing stories, then we can see about having our hangout streams again on Wednesdays and Fridays. For now, though, I am going to continue doing the Monday streams at the bare minimum. It just kind of helps the early week progression, you know, to say, okay, it's 1 o'clock Pacific time. We're sitting down and we're going to play some Magic. And let me tell you, Magic is not something that's going to be leaving my life anytime soon, as far as I know. And Magic Arena can be very, very punishing if you don't keep up. So, in some ways, streaming is a way to help keep me current on Magic. So that way I don't just wander away and then like, you know what? I feel a strong Magic hyper focus. I'm going to come back to it and then realize, shit. I need so many goddamn wild cards right now. If it was 1 PM for you, you'd be screaming. You would be screaming. So, getting on with today's stream. Today, I have a very simple deck concept for you. What if we played Lizard Commander with Lizard cards? Mind blasting, I know. I put out a poll on my community page for YouTube asking which people would want to see, and I actually posted that poll in a couple of different places just to help me figure out what I wanted to do first. The lizard deck is very simple and very easy, and it was the one I had the most work put into it already, in the sense of, like, you know, this deck is pretty much complete. Queen of Mickey, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. So today it's going to be lizards. It's a different color combination than what we were running last time. Next Monday, I am good. It is a. Oh, is it Labor Day next Monday? Labor Day is next Monday. Okay. So next Monday, we are not going to be streaming because it's going to be Labor Day. And as you all know, if a Monday holiday is around, I take the day off to spend it with my family. So we're gonna be kind of tight for time to try and like try all the decks that I've been working on before Duskmourn comes out. I think Duskmourn comes out. Oh, God, it's gonna be what, October or something? Actually, hold on. Let me pull that up real quick. What's the release date for Duskmourn? Duskmourn release date. September 27th. It comes out a month from now? What the fuck? Magic, learn to take a break. Challenge level impossible. Alright. So we're really going to be burning through all these. Anyway, the deck itself is very, very simple. We want to get 1-drops ready. We'll typically be taking turn 1 off to either play a hand attack card, play one of our tap lands, Sulphurous Mire, just to make sure we have color. And then it's really just, do we Daka them before they can, you know, set up, or do we just fucking die? It's feast or famine with this deck. There's no in between. A deck like this ideally would want more 1-drops. I think you'll agree that we're kind of lacking for options if you just want to go like your lizard. Now, one thought, like these are literally all the 1-drop lizards that you could run, not counting the changelings like the outcast. Notably, Gev can be flexed out. You can go ahead and run a bunch of other cards that are small, that are aggressive. You can play your mono 1-drop aggro deck list, and that would actually kind of work. Because the lizard synergy only comes from when you cast a lizard, Gev deals the damage to target opponent. So that guarantees, it damn near guarantees, I guess they could always just like remove them in response. But like, this is already the enabler to make all the lizards come into play above curve, which is really good. But any creature that comes into play will have the 1/1 counter on them. So if you want to get really cute, one of the things that I didn't have time to really like suss out was the potential for a Bastion of Remembrance style combo deck, where you get just literally any undying creature. Like, we could just go ahead, reset those. Let's see, I know we have like Festering Goblin. Oh wait, no, not Undying. What am I thinking? I'm thinking the other one, Persist. Yeah, there we go. We've already got like Putrid Goblin, and oh, that's literally it. So like, if you wanted to, you could put in the infinite combo with Putrid Goblin and a sacrifice outlet. Maybe like the 3-mana Goblin that came out in Horizons. The one that has like pay a life, sack a creature, make a treasure. And then Putrid Goblin would do its thing. Bastion Remembrance would trigger. You make sure the trigger stacks that way. They drain life. And then that's an opponent who has lost life this turn. So it comes into play with a 1/1 counter. The counters cancel out. And you just keep looping that forever until the opponent's dead. You could pretty easily do that if you really wanted to. But to actually get that kind of deck online would just be a little more effort and time than I have available right this second. Now, in the pipeline, we are going to be taking a look at the Bats deck. I did get a request to take a look at the Birds deck. The Birds deck needs a little bit more tuning. Raccoons are an option. I still have not done anything with the Squirrel deck, even though that was probably the deck I was most looking forward to. And then mice just need a few more wild cards. So, you know, you have to like stagger a lot of these deck projects because wild cards are not free. Also, last time we did Brawl stream, the rat colony deck frickin' destroyed us. So I went looking around and it's like, oh, the reason that we're seeing so many rat colony decks today is because Amy the Amazonian put out a rat colony deck, and so did a couple of other tubers. Like, okay, yeah, that tracks. I think I like this version of Ren just fine. We'll just piggyback off that. So, you know, not a deck that we're gonna be showing off, but a deck that we have now. Yeesh. Blue, black spells, green spells, black spells. Spells. All right. These games are gonna go fairly quickly. If they start to drag out, this deck doesn't really have any way to come back from that. So you'll also be seeing a decent amount of Yawgmoth's Bomb. Wasn't expecting to see that. Okay. So if this land came into play untapped, this would be a snap keep. Yeah. The opponent is going first, so we kind of need a way to like set them back tempo wise. We could go straight into Gave, and then we would have Thrasher and Frontliner for power. If we draw an extra land, the Automaton is here, as well as the Battler. The Battler is actually really, really good against the Spellslinger decks. Also, I knew I said that the games were going to go pretty quick today. I didn't think they were going to go that quick. Thank you for the 250. Also, I swapped straws in my little water cup today. Trying out one of the bendy plastic ones. I'm now remembering why I don't use these ones. Like these little rubber straws actually have like a bend to them. I'm so used to just like my straw being exactly where I want it to be, but now it just swings all over the place. This is a really hard matchup because Nethroid is just such a powerful stabilizer for them. Death Touch, Lifelink comes down at 5, and they're going to be on the play. Infernal Grasp, Performer, and Thrasher Lizard. This is not nearly enough early interaction. All right, 2 lands. Spitter, Shaman, Performer. Well, we can go ahead and hold on to this. We're going to play the Spitter after we play Gave. I would love to see some sort of a Thoughtseize or a removal spell, which if we draw another land, we can probably get away with not playing Fell the Profane, except as a removal spell. It's dicey. I don't really feel confident with this hand. Am I willing to go to 6 for it, though? I think I am. But know that the line between, like, mulliganing down to 6 in order to try and find that early interaction, and this is just so powerful. Hired Claws. Probably would. Maybe it was worth it to just go ahead and play a 1-drop just for the tempo. Because now they're going to have 4 mana on their turn, and we're not going to be making any meaningful plays here. Like, we're going to play Scave, or Gave. But, oh, baby girl. I don't think I'm allowed to pass that up. And this could very easily just eat a Fatal Push or not a Merge Cut. What's the oh god, the one that eats. Zombie Simulacrum is a really annoying blocker. I don't think we get this one. That kind of helps. Being able to double spell this turn is pretty good. We could put in the Requisitioner. This just doesn't look pretty. So, most effective use of our double spelling. Yeah, we're gonna go 2-drop, 1-drop for sure. Which just becomes like. The Immolation Shaman can at least attack in through the Solemn Simulacrum, but if we don't top deck removal for this Nethroi, then we are going to be very sad lizards. Let's see. Nope, they're going to go Chupacabra, kill Gave. Gev? Yeah, kill Gev. And that would be why I was running Undying Effects for Gave, and we're just going to scoop this up. They have too many just incidental value and blockers. So yeah, in that case, we definitely should have mulliganed more aggressively. Especially for a value deck like Gev. Or a value deck like Nethroi. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, this is just how we built the deck. The deck is built to try and win the die roll and then steal the games. A little bit like Scam, but not quite with the same tools. The opponent's going first again. This time, though, we do have Cinder Cone Smite, which helps a lot. Frontliner having Trample is pretty big. And then the Mentor as Gas later on. We'll hold on to this. This is actually much better position than the previous hand was. Okay, this is not an instant. So then, this always comes into play tap. This represents an untapped land. They don't have any green, so we're already keeping pace. Okay. Go ahead, we play Gave. And then it's going to hold a priority because we have the Flare of Malice. 6! Well, that's not ideal. Oh, we have a Fatal Push. That's perfect for us. Like, you could not get better than that. Perfect. Okay. And then let's see. We don't need to play the Mentor yet, so let's go ahead. Play out. The front line is going to be stronger. Really upkeep, I think. Now, the upside of having the Flare of Malice is that if they go for any sort of creature-based removal, then we can flare in response. Alright, well, Nethroi is going to come out next turn. A Phyrexian Tower. Okay. At this point, I am fine with playing out the Mentor on the next turn. We'll play the Shaman then? Yeah. Let's make sure we're playing our Mentor first, so that way Ottoman Tapper doesn't mess us up. Beginning of your second main phase, if an opponent lost life, exile the top 2, choose one that you can play this turn. Ah, that sucks. Yep, again, that is unfortunately just one of the downsides of playing this deck. Let's see, when this creature dies, deal a damage. And then there's also a Thought Seize. Thought Seizing into a Steam Path Charger. Nothing for it. And then we can always just, like, hard cast the player if we need to. But it's going to be really hard to punch through now that they've reached their mid-game. And they have a wild guard they could get. A Nuntucko would actually block really good for them. They can also just like put their farewell on top. Let's see. Ravine Raider. Well, we could definitely Flare of Malice and get some extra value off of that. This is unfortunate. Typically, you want to have the Thought Seizes there, so that way we have just more things to do. Or rather, you want to use the Thought Seizes to protect Gev. Yeah, and it's like Bob Creature, removal, ultimate reanimation spell. Oh god. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, get rid of them. And it's like, well, what are you even doing with your life now? I don't think we get the push. Because even if we flare, that they have Death Touch Lifelink. Like... Alright, pass the turn. We're playing to our outs. I don't like those outs. Alright, so now they're going to mutate. This is the correct position. The Flare of Malice. Let's go ahead and, you know what? Gev's done just about all it needs to do. Like, with the menace we can get through for, say, 4, go down to 7. Patrick Banner's cool, I guess. Combat, swing. And then what? They just Eerie Ultimatum next turn, get back 6. Nuntucko, Wild Guide. Yeah, I'm just gonna call that game. There's no reasonable way for us to punch through on that. Kind of unfortunate that we got 2 Nethroid decks in a row, but what can you do? What I would love to try and squeeze into this deck would be like a border. It's like the 2-mana sorcery that has flashback for 4, and it makes 2 it prevents 2 creatures from blocking. All right, we're on the play this time. This still isn't a hand that I like. Like, we can play Raider early, but we're not going to want to. We're up against Pantlaza, Sun Favored. And again, this is another deck that if they can reach their middle game, they just spit out value and we have no way to overcome them. The Demand Answers does make this a little easier, and we could always first turn, surveil, try and dig for that 3rd land. Let's see, we can keep the 7. And we pretty much have to be able to double spell on the turn after we play Gev. Like, you still get some value out of Gev because of the ward cost. Pyroline, unfortunately. Oh god, Pyroline's actually, like, amazing with Gev. But, like, I think it's just too slow in this specific instance. That Mind Spike is a little late. I want to see these on turn 1. It might even be worth playing Dread Fugue. All right, now we get to Defense of the Heart, which is sadly Oh, wait, hold on. If I had attacked with Gev first, then Ragavan would have come to play with an extra counter on it. Whoops, that's my bad. That's pilot error. Okay. I don't think that's a reason to scoop. Some people just really don't like Ragavan. Yep, so we'd be looking at like the signpost, we'd be looking at getting a couple of those undying cards back in, like the not dead after all. Just so that way we're a little more resilient against board wipes. We're not playing green or white or blue. And those are the three colors that we would lean on to protect our boards. There we go. Turn 1 Inquisition. Turn 2 removal. Turn 2 creature, turn 3 creature. Perfect. Against Kaelin, though, this is very, very likely the Okay, yeah, this has the this has the hallmarks of the very, very silly deck. Well, goodbye Feed the Swarm. Top deck Inquisition for the win, I guess. Because now, what? They play Kaelin, No, they're gonna make me lose the Warlock? Alright. So, if you remember the Crucius meme deck, where all they do is they grab their giant Mana Geyser Golem thing, Kaelin has kind of turned into that as well. Now, let's see. They can play Kaelin, and then they can collateral damage to get rid of Gav. They are not going to, though. This is an instant, so... you hate to see that. Like, I feed a Swarm. Well, now I just feel ridiculous. Alright. No, they're not gonna use Kaelin as collateral damage. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. See, what did I say? What did I say? And when it dies, you put all cards exiled with it onto the battlefield. So, like, yeah, that's GG's. It's the fucking gimmick deck. So, oh god, if I had like the confidence that it was the gimmick deck, then I would have fed the Swarm to get rid of Kaelin, and then they could have just done whatever. I hate that. I hate that so fucking much. I hate fucking gimmick decks like that. Like, if it works, it works. And I got. I fucking got because I didn't want to lose my lizard. The correct answer there was literally just play the thing out. Alright. Flame Valley Collar, Frontline, Lizard Blades. We have 2 lands. We're up against Gretchen Titchwillow. This is another control combo deck that likes to run Wilderness Reclamation so they can just draw and get all the cards. We're gonna really, really, really need everything we can. This is double removal spell, but only one of those is actually removal. This is better. Yeah, we can keep these. And we'll go ahead and crack our Catacombs now. We won the die roll, and that helps us out a lot. Leave the land on top. Leave the land on top. That way we can hold on to Fell the Profane. Yep, that's the lighted halfling. So they can go ahead and play their commander. virtually free. They'll go ahead and use the halfling as mana so that we can go ahead and leave up like a Tamio safekeeping or a Dispel. Aeromorphic? I mean, I guess if you don't have the mod cards for fetch lands. This does leave her absolutely naked, but we'll take that. Alright, make sure we have perfect mana. This is not going to be a Winter Moon deck, so we don't have to worry about mana. Don't even give her a chance to untap. And then, honestly, let's just go ahead and skewer the halfling too. Just for the tempo. And then if hopefully we draw into like a 2-drop lizard, we can play Raider. Excellent. Excellent. We can even do both. Creature control attacks. I'm going to go combat first. Swing and see what they do. No flash. She had animosity. They probably counter this, in which case I'm fine because I really just want to have the creature. And now they want to play Gretchen and try and wall me off. I have both options here. Alright, we're winning this tempo battle. That's great for us. I'm going to play one more land. And then we have a couple of pitch spells, so any extra lands are probably worth holding on to. Tatyava. Well, I don't want you to have Tatyava, so I guess I'm hard casting this. Use the fetch land to try and stop our infinitesimally small ability. Yep, that's a time warp. That is an explort. Prime Time's a pretty scary card. There's no point in swinging with Gev anymore. The Raider at least has Menace, so like theoretically we might still be able to get there. That's an Aaron Mesa. Go to combat, swing in. Go ahead and activate. Alright, that's 5. Play the fetch land because, again, infinitesimally small chance to try and, like, cut out redundant lands. Makes our draw spells easier, like, just stronger, too. Now the Raider can be blocked. But the Raider also trades with Gretchen, I guess. Wow, that just doesn't even matter. I forgot to crack my fetch. Can't block and can't be blocked. So that puts him at 2. I'll go ahead and attack with the Raider if it means setting him back on Titchwillow, because we just don't want her to stay around. If they get to untap with her, that is literally the worst. But also, we do get extra value for winning in with the Raider and Gev now. Because if they have to block the Raider, otherwise we just pump the Raider up. Okay. You gotta put your button down. Yeah. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. You monster! Alright. Well, not a whole lot for it. Alright. They had the bounce spell they needed. Now they have to dig, and they have to hope that they have an answer in the next, what, 2 cards? Alright, they're gonna dig deeper. Did it blend? Do they have it? Alright. Go combat. Swing with Outcast. There's no point in swing with Gev right now. If they bounce the Outcast, we could just play Outcast and Raider again. Okay! That's our first win for the day! And that's what you have to do. You have to get the... You have to win the die roll. And you have to be able to fight for tempo. We are very, very fortunate that we had the removal for Tatyava and a halfling. And, you know, Gretchen a couple of times. And also, they didn't have anything more substantial than an Unsubstantiate. Which I guess, if you think about it, isn't really all that substantial to begin with. But hey, we got there. Oh hey, a mastery pass. I still haven't bought this season's pass yet, but I'm gonna have to at some point to get those extra packs. Give me the loaded sleeves. I hope we get the non-Bloomburrow arts for those planeswalkers too at some point. They're very, very cute, but also I would like to see Elspeth, Sun's Champion, in her original art. No, I don't care about the boob plate as much. I mean, like, it still bothers me in like the cosmic sense, but you know. Alright, how are we feeling about this? We're up against Helga Skittish Seer. And this is kind of in the vein of those True Lane decks, where when they're going to try and cast a ton of value creatures, so it's very easy for us to fall behind. But we did win the die roll. Painful Bond, Metallic Mimic is cool. Magebane Lizard doesn't do a whole lot here. I think we could do better. Opening up with a Duress would be pretty great, but we can't actually go turn 2 Gev unless we open with Theater. So, turn 1, they're very likely to start with an Elf, which means that we're probably going to kill it anyway. So we'll start with the Theater. Confluence. Normally I would like it, but we need to make sure we have action. The Faceless Agent does help us find that action by virtue of cantripping into a lizard creature. Yep, there's a Bird of Paradise. Universal Automaton is not bad. Alright, go ahead. Grasp the bird out. Now we have the option of being able to go Duress into Gev, which is good. That's good tempo. Especially since that is very, very suspiciously a wash away. Okay, so we have the Dark Ritual. We could Duress, and then that would pay for what? Automaton, Faceless Agent. The other idea would be hold. Well, we don't have to play the Dark Ritual this turn, right? Right. Okay, we've got Witch Enchanter and Surak coming up. That's a pain in the patookie. Take out the Gift of the Viper. We would have 4 mana, so we could theoretically like play the Automaton. Yeah, we could play the Automaton and the Faceless Agent, but we won't give out, so that'll be for the next turn. Now we can Bitter Triumph Helga if she comes down. Both come down. They'll play one of their Vault lands as a land. They've got plenty of lands. Ooh, Feed the Swarm. I like that. So yep, try and like capture as much tempo on this as possible. We'll pay 3 life. And I'm actually gonna play the most expensive card, I think. Alright, then let's just grab a lizard. Cutthroat. We can pay 2 mana to give it menace, and it comes into play with a counter if they lost. So this is essentially a 5/4 at 3 mana. It's pretty good. We can also still play Feed the Swarm into Automaton if we need. Silverback Elder is really stinking good. And we can't do anything else. We've got him at 9. Sarak is a big old 6/5. We can, 5? Oh, no, they blow up the automaton. Oh, wait, that's an artifact. Yeah, it is. So, yeah, yeah, that works. That definitely works. Hold on. Who's the starting player? I was. Okay, so we do not get value here. But I am going to go ahead and pop it. Boom, doom, 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 doom. Do, 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 do. Get that double red. And we got there. Lizzie's for the win. That's how you do it. You just gotta, like, pray. Pray and have interaction. This deck could probably use just a bit more draw, too. Maybe, like, some impulse draw at the top end. Maybe it's worth playing... Are you kidding me? A third Nethroi! Okay. We are on the play, so we can actually run Ragavan out. We've got Blade Assassin... You know what? Why not? Turn 1 maybe turn 1 Ragavan's strong enough. I got a Blade Assassin that we can sack to the Fell to the Profane. Also, we can sack Gave if they try and kill Gave. Ooh, Charger. Rite of Oblivion. That's a pretty great card for us. I mean, like, we're not going to cast it, but, like, we got it off of them. Notably, Flare is not that great right this second. Fnatic used. Sign in Blood. Am I willing to, like, play this as land? I might be. Because Fnatic is actually a pretty good card. Like, it just blocks so much. I could play Assassin to play Flare, but then I'm just playing Flare for 2 and then putting myself down 2. But then I get to play a second card. That could be worth it. Let's think for a second. The tempo on that is just really, really good. If I had, like, just more options, I think I'd be happy about that. Alright, let's go ahead and just draw a couple of cards. Because we might actually draw into another cheap removal spell. Not quite. I'll go ahead and play the Assassin. Not quite what I want to be doing. But we take those. And we still get to smack him for 5. And now we can cast Fell the Profane. No worries. They do get to, like, eternalize next turn. Shocking in the Godless Shrine. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Let's see, the Nightshade Dryad. That's a pretty good blocker, not gonna lie. And it's definitely not what I want to be using this spell, the Profane, on. But it's also just like really good. Internalize for 4 next turn. We might be able to get him though. So let's see, I can play Arena of Glory. If I play the Canyon now though, we have the option of like playing a potential 3-drop that we get. No, I think we just go ahead, spell here, and then we can go ahead and play the Magebane Lizard with the treasures. Deals damage equal to the number of non-creature spells they've cast this turn. And it just attacks better. Get Osprey and the Charger next turn. That's good. Doom Whisperer! Well, buddy. Alright, let's go for it. Yeah, I think that's them throwing in the towel. Okay, we managed to get one. It doesn't feel good to use removal on both of their dorks like this, but whatever it takes. Also, I didn't realize that the Nightshade Dryad taps for colorless. That's really good. I like that. It taps for colorless and any color. So, like, it taps for all types of mana. Ooh, that's some really good tech. I like that. The fact that it has Death Touch means it just acts as a really obnoxious blocker, too. Explorer's Cache. Oh, we got a boosty pack. For the common good, create X tokens that are copies of target token you control. Then tokens you control gain indestructible until your next turn. You gain 1 life for each token you control. And as a reminder, I will be putting this deck onto Moxfield after the stream is over, so if you want to try the deck for yourself, Moxfield's the place to go. Tovalor, the Dire Overlord, but we win the die roll again. We don't have any removal, but Thoughtseize is kind of like removal. Alright, so let's take a look at what's over there. Pact Betrayal. Gain control of target creature. Untap it. Control wolf or werewolf. Young Wolf. Averbur Caretaker is a house. It also has Undying, which is kind of obnoxious. Naturalist. Helps ramp. It's also a 2/2, so it actually blocks really, really good. Young Wolf also blocks good, but like, eh. At least if we take the Young Wolf, we set him back on tempo. Stormmarch having first strike is pretty great.
Just do it!
And the Flame Weaver off the top. Alright, so we do go ahead. Grab Gev. Now, we're not going to swing Gev into the 2-drop. That would be bad for business, as the kids say. Scorch Spitter. That's really insane. We're kind of bottlenecked on red right now. I want to play the Maul because the Maul can actually attack in and start getting some pressure on. Reality, hey, what's up? Have we been? We've been good. Things have been good. It'd be a little bit better if we could had
boom.
we had like a Ooh, I'm gonna have to grab like one of those battle lands, I think. All right, Thorn Moloch has first strike as long as it's attacking, which means that we can get pressure on. That is really good. 2 of our cards being red, not so good. Flameweaver is actually a great top end. Ooh, Adaptive Automaton. I think we want to drop that one afterward. So let's see. We Moloch first. Yeah, let's Moloch. They're probably not gonna. Thank you for the yum yum yums. They're probably not blocking here. Like they could double block to try and take out the Moloch, but that doesn't do what they wanted to do. Yeah, we'll drop the Spitter here. Got back into Standard over the weekend. Hey, good for you. Alright, now we have more lizards, and they're all significantly beefier. And we're in a position to drop the Automaton next turn for an Anthem. Which is good because Arlen coming down and dropping a pair of doggos as blockers is really problematic for us. We've also got this Fatal Push. Okay, how do we want to do this? Because we swing with everything. The 2/2s trade. I think we're just going Automaton swing here. Like, we have Lizard Brain. Oh. Whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. So, like, if the Lizard attacks Arlen, then, like, that just gets rid of Arlen for us. The downside is that Scorch Spitter no longer... Oh, wait, does it get to attack No, it doesn't get to attack the player. And we do, like, trade give here, but... Honestly, we have such big creatures now, I think it's probably fine. Avabrook is still scary. That's a potentially really big source of stabilization for them. You're playing Boros tokens with Pakal! Very nice, very nice. Alright, so Tovolar's a 5/5 now. All these lizards. How do we want to do this? We have Fatal Push, we have Stone Seeker. This could be the time to play Flameweaver. Honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and keep pushing. And then we can always Fatal Push Tovolar. If we need to. Notably, the Thorn Monarch also has prowess, so playing the Fatal Push will make it stronger. I'm not going to swing with the Automaton. Because I just don't need to do that. And both the Spitter and the Assassin providing all the extra boof is really good. Oh, oh no! Oh, this is not going to end the way you want it to, friend. Unless they have Atomios. Like, Atomios would still work. Okay, they're going to take the Moonlight Hunt. You know what? That's completely fair. And then... yeah, we'll go ahead and play Stone Seeker. Alright, so they're currently at 6. They play Avabrook. Avabrook make Tovolar big, but they don't have enough blockers, so that's game. Ooh, Lizard Brain. Okay, what was... okay, until the next turn you can cast creatures as though they had flash and they come to play with additional 1/1 counters. I would say that is definitely worth trading the 3 damage. Just Spitter things. There's a surprising amount of lizard synergy in some of these older lizards. Lizards look like fun, but you like spiders more. Hey, like what you like. But one of those creature types got deck support, and one did not. Just saying. Scoreboard. The infamous Cruel Claw. This weasel. Oh. So, this is definitely a Brawl tier deck. A 3/3 with Menace. It comes into play, and then they reveal cards until they hit a spell, and then they can discard a card rather than paying its cost. This is a good reason to play Vexing Bauble in your decks right now. So basically, they can discard a card and then hit like an Ulamog or an Emrakul or a Sholdred off the top, and it ruins your day. So you need to have removal. If you don't have removal, get it. Ooh, Blazing Root Wall. Let's see, we got Thoughtseize, Duress, and Push. Don't mind if I do. Alright, so they're going to Inquisition us. They're going to take Thoughtseize, and we'll be able to Duress him back. No, they're taking... Why would... I guess because Thoughtseize makes us lose life? I don't understand that at all. Let's see. Chimel's a problem. Lava Spur's a problem. Overwhelming Force is a problem if they can eventually cast it. I'm going to take the Chimel. Very specifically because Chimel takes over the game and helps them win long term. Whereas Lava Spur Boots, they can't equip Cruel Claw and use it unless they top deck into Dark Writ. And if they have Dark Writ in their top 2 cards, then GG's. Now the real question is, let's see. I think I Fatal Push here. Yeah, it's just not worth trying to like play out the Lava Spur. I want to be able to get the... Let's go ahead. We'll crack Polluted Delta. We'll go ahead. We'll grab our Surveil Land. Grab a Surveil Land. We can Fatal Push for 4. Which I guess is why they felt comfortable playing Cruel Claw and not waiting to Lava Spur Boots. And why they felt like they didn't have to take the Fatal Push. Play the Root Wallet. So the Root Wallet is a 2/2 for 1 mana. Swing in for 3. And then try and just like get their ass before they can replay Cruel Claw and equip Boots. Chimel is such a good card. Finally have an answer to Counterspell BS. Chimel is a good card. Like, it doesn't go in every deck, but if you... It's a great catch-up card. Like, it snowballs so good. Especially depending on how you have your deck built. Like, most of what Chimel's going to hit is actually just going to be removal or ramp. Which is perfectly great if all you have in your hand is high-cost cards, like what the Weasel does. It belongs in every Brawl deck. No, it doesn't. No, it absolutely doesn't. You're not playing that in super aggro. You're not playing that in aggro decks. Maybe some mid-range decks. And definitely not in control decks. But, like, it's a good card. It doesn't go in every Brawl deck. The opponent's going first and they're playing Hot Yava. This is going to be interesting. Oh, that's an Allosaurus Shepherd. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and Arid Mesa first. We've got Bog, we've got Crypt and Cliffs. This is going to be... Oh, no. Oh, God. They could absolutely, like, stifle this, and I don't think I have any response for it. Nope. Okay, thank God. There's, like, a stifle here that can actually shut down triggers. Adaptive Automaton. Is that the top deck that we're looking for? It certainly makes creatures to play, but they're going to be playing a lot of Mass Bounce. You put it in every one of your 74 Brawl decks. Hey, if you have a card that you love, then absolutely, by all means, go for it. But there are definitely going to be some decks where if you try to play them, they're not going to work out. So, here's where we go absolutely disappointing. They have blue open. It's either a Growth Spiral or Counterspell. We kind of just don't have a choice. Alright, Gev's on board. That helps. Let's see, we'll play Fireglass Mentor and Automaton next turn. Hold the Skewer for taking out Tatyava. Let's see, and there's Pyromancer. Deals 2 damage to target player or Planeswalker. That's a... it's 6 mana. Alright, here we go. Lizard attack? Okay. What are they holding their mana open for is my question. Fireglass Mentor. I probably if they're going to have open mana, I should have let off with a Shaman. Okay, okay, it's just going to go back to our hand. That is a tempo loss. But it's not the worst thing. I'm sorry, Treasure Hunt? Okay, and they hit Primetime off the top. Okay. That's interesting. Well, no Time Warps yet. I might probably gonna end up using that Flare of Malice. Let's see. Alright, let's go ahead and cast the Mentor now. And we'll see if we can draw some extra cards. And that's going to include any potential land drops. The biggest issue with Tatyava is that she can just get all of this back. You know what? I don't mind taking a Strangle here. I'm not sure why the Alistar Shepherd's here other than to just make the creatures uncounterable. But it is a potential blocker. And we're not playing any other 1-drops. We could skewer the Critic. But this means that I could potentially go Command Tower, 2-drop, 2-drop, Skewer, without having to give up Flare. Yep, that's a Time Warp. Would have liked to have seen that go away with the Bajuka Bug, but okay. Alright, so that's prime time. 6, 7, 8. 2 lands into play. I am A-okay with flaring without giving up the Fireglass Mentor. Let's see. There's not a lot of utility lands that they can really go for. Lotus Field. What shenanigans are they? Oh, and Deserted Temple. That is really, really problematic for us because that's going to be an absolute ass load of energy. All right, I've got this Changeling Outcast. Honestly, let's go ahead, cast the Changeling Outcast. And then I am going to go ahead and... Oh. Goodbye, Outcast. Let's see where this gets us. They're currently at 5. Let's go ahead and say... Pick the Vine Lasher. We have Oh, I think we have lethal, right? 1, 2. Ooh, wait, this also just like deals 2 damage by itself. And then we also have Skewer the Critics here. Oh, how did we do that? How did lizards do math? Holy shit. This was gonna be horrifying. Lotus Field with Deserted Temple. I forgot that Deserted Temple was here. So, like, they untap, they tap 3, use the temple to tap for 1, go down to 2 mana, tap for 3 more, it's 5. So you get +3 mana on this overall. Which is actually... You're using a land and 1 mana to untap a land that produces 3 mana. Tap, make 3, go down to 2 to untap, tap, add 3 more. So like that is 5 mana with 2 lands. So that is, yep, that's very strong acceleration. Okay, it took me a second there because like the math wasn't lining up, but we got there. The biggest thing that got us there though was just the fact that they didn't really do a whole lot. Normally with Tatyava decks they're a lot faster. And as soon as Tatyava comes down, if they can play like a Cultivate or anything to start getting that value engine going, they stabilize and it's really hard for us to come back. I forgot that the Pyromancer was just like a shock. We also got lucky that they didn't have a counterspell for the turn we played Gev. That was actually really, really fucking important. Because the tempo loss, if that happens, is just too big. Like, that very easily could have been gone the other way. Oh my god. Oh my god, chat. This player's name is Sloth Stealer. No! Don't steal my wife's sloth! I got that for her for Valentine's Day. Also, Oya Minartok, Polar Werebear. This is a very strong Simic commander. They get to conjure a ton of stuff. Starting with Mind Spike first thing though helps out a lot. Alright, we're gonna pay the 2. Mind Spike. Really? Cultivate and Intervention are the only things you have. The Cultivate's a problem. I'm gonna take out the Intervention though, because we can't afford to have any of our removal cut. Let's go Arid Mesa. Fetch 4. Basic Mountain. Alright, we got Gev. Blizzard gets stronger if we're in Madness. Both of these attack into the Fanatic so much better. I would love to feed the Swarm and get rid of Fanatic to set them back. If I do that, though... This is really tough. Attacking in the Fanatic keeps them off of Ayama for another turn. They have to take a turn off to Cultivate. I think I just have to do that. I don't like it at all. And we don't get the tempo that I would have really loved to have gotten there. Yep, they get the Cultivate. And let's Surveil. I'm looking for removal. Notably, Oya does have hexproof until he deals damage. But whenever he deals combat damage to a player, they get to make food. They get to sack the food. It's a whole thing. Hold on to the fetch land in case we draw into Fatal Push. Alright, so this is whenever a player casts a non-creature. Chandra's Pyroling is going to get really strong. So whenever we deal non-combat damage to an opponent, it gets 1-0 and double strike. So this is a really, really big lizard. Alright, they can still have a... Delighted Halfling. Okay. Bloodstain Mire, Thresher Lizard. Let's see. If it hasn't dealt damage. So as soon as it's like, if it trades with Gev, that's cool. Alright. We're going to bolt the Halfling because we need to get rid of the Chump Blocker. And we're going to deal enough damage to make Pyroling bigger. Go combat. Swing with Pyroling. Swing with Mage Bane. And then I guess we don't have to swing with Gev. Alright. Now, Thresher does have +1/+2 because we are in Madness mode. But they're also at 6 mana. That's a hell of a lot of mana. Yep, it's a 4/4. And they can fight. And fight. And fight. And fight, 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 fight. Fight, 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 fight. Okay, yep. Can't do nothing about that. Pass. Alright. This is a token, so we don't have to save lands for Fatal Push. Fireglass Mentor. We could Gev first. So the Fireglass Mentor comes into play with more stuff attached to it. We can also Mentor now to try and get more Lizard. I think I'm okay with playing Gev this turn. Ooh, gutsy. Now, they might have done that because if they play... Oh, yeah. He can make food tokens at some point. And it would be a huge stabilizing force for them. Alright, they left double blue open. What do they got? They have 6 more mana. Like, this is, Oh, they're gonna bring back their fight spell. That would do it. Alright, so they're gonna fight Gev. Ah, but they forgot about the Mage Bane Lizard! Alright, you know the rules. We won, so we're happy. Oh, yeah. So, let's see. The Mage Bane deals him 1, puts him to 5. Gev's Ward puts him down to 3. They have 2 blockers. They both died to the Thresher Lizard. Yeah, yep. Just turn on the Lizard Brain. Just turn on the Lizard Brain. Alright, let's go ahead and take a quick pit stop. Currently 218. We'll see if we can get this done by 223. I'm not going to make a lot of changes. Mostly what I'm going to do is go to the lands. Because I want the Tango land in here. Dragon Skull Summit is cool. Haunted Bridge. I don't really like running the Haunted Land or the Dragon Skull Summit as much these days. Partially because if they're your turn 1 lands, then you're just kind of stuck with it. But could be worse. Lucky, thank you so much for the biddies. You know what? I'm easy. I'm greedy. I'm not running the temple, so should be fine, right? Where's the battle land? There we go. We'll go ahead. We'll cut 1 mountain, 2 swamps. Actually, put a swamp in. I don't think the Phyrexian Tower actually helps us out. Like, this is just not the tower, the deck for a Phyrexian Tower. And then let's see, target discard. Looking for 1 mana sorceries. I would think I want the Dreadfuge in there. We don't, and we're looking very specifically for more ways to like get rid of removal that's in the opponent's hands. So maybe Dreadfuge is one that we want. Dev team, devs, please help. I can't just like add a thing into a slot before it gets sorted in. Do we have anything specifically that we are not enjoying? The Flare Mouse has actually been a really big help. This was a late ad. Pull out the features. Faceless Agent is not like the greatest, but it's a lizard that draws into a lizard. Yeah, we do get to run Laughing Jasper Flint. That's pretty great. I don't think we're cutting any of our creatures. Shared Animosity is not quite doing what I wanted to do. Like, it being 3 is kind of awkward, so is Rising of the Day, unfortunately. What am I willing to cut for Shared Animosity, though? This is just kind of like a really good finishing anthem. I think it's just the Haste Enabler, unfortunately. Painful Bond, Sign in Blood, Abrade, Demand Answers. Roiling Vortex is really good as an alternative to Bobble because it just domes them. And in an aggressive deck, I think that actually does more work for us than the Vexing Bobble. We got removal for days. Maybe instead of Dreg Feud, what we want is just like a shock. Yeah, I could see us wanting to just like get instant value. It's probably it's really easy to like just like hyper focus on kill cards rather than like the shocks. So Frostbite's fine. Galvanic got nerfed, so we don't actually run Galvanic Discharge anymore. It's literally just a shock, just worse shock. Unless you're very explicitly running an energy deck. But even then. Magma Spray is not bad. Playing with Fire can go straight to the face. I think it's probably Playing with Fire because Playing with Fire goes straight to the face. Although having the exile from like Spray and Flameless Bolt would be really good. I've only got like a minute left. We could potentially go Reckless Rage if we were targeting anything other than Give. Don't need Lightning Axe. Frostbite, unfortunately, will not scale the way we want it to. Dreadmire's Ire is cute. Actually, you know what? See, I'm not running the other Edict. Angar's Wrath. We just want Playing with Fire, I think. Just like as another shock to deal with mana dorks that try and block us to help the green decks ramp out. And Playing with Fire is the most flexible among them because we can shoot at their face and then it lets us scry one. So if we're playing against a green deck that's already accelerated beyond what it's useful for, we at least get some selection out of it. Dark Writ, Laughing Jasper, a bunch of red cards, and the opponent's on the draw. I would love. See, this is kind of what I'm talking about. If this had been a basic swamp, this would be fantastic. As it is, I guess it's not the worst. Although apparently it's good enough to get the early concession from the opponent. Or Obsidat would be a really difficult card for us to deal with. We do have the Edict to deal with it, but them draining 2 would be really tough. This is also a control-heavy deck because they can play Obsidat, and they can pretty reliably try and just raft stuff out. Like, Obsidat by itself is already a really good win condition if you just trade 1-for-1 with all the creatures we drop. Oh, we got a boosty pack. I accidentally spent all my gold that I was saving for the alchemy set on the non-alchemy set, so that was interesting. Ooh, this is exactly what I want. If one or more creatures you control die, you make a food token. I really like the green black food deck work. If it's squirrels, well then so be it. We'll get squirrely. Garuda, Doom of Deaths. This one's a classic. Okay, so for opponent goes first. We have Thoughtseize and Dark Writ. So like, not the greatest, not the worst either. Mind Stone. I don't mind seeing that. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop that. Here's Dark Ritual. Here's Thoughtseize? Question mark. Alright, so Metamorph, Dark Writ, Vizier, Stormdrake. Stormdrake takes Gev, and then they never give him back. Oh god, that feels so bad. But we have to take the fast mana. Tempo-wise, I feel like we could just play Cutthroat. We can also just like play the Sign in Blood, refill our hand, pass the turn. Which doesn't feel great. But now we have lands that we can play. Yep. So they're gonna play Garuda next turn. They're gonna try and hit at literally any sort of a clone effect. We'll save the Pajuka Bog for that, I guess. In short, sucks to be us. Let's see. They also have the Stormdrake. They also have River's Rebuke. This is gonna this is really gonna suck. Mentor, Stone Seeker. Yeah. I just don't know what the play is. Like, I think we hold up Garuda. Oh, they're just gonna play the One Ring. Alright. Well, Fatal Push is a real card. Okay. Well, now I can play Gev without losing too much. This is what? Copy of any creature, then it has a Balm. This very quickly got away from us. Mind Stone into Clone of Mind Stone into the One Ring is really hard for us to beat. Like, they're going to be losing life off the Mind Stone now. We have the upside of, like, we can at least Fatal Push the Drake now. So, I guess I hope they go for that. Yep, they're gonna... Alright, they have all the ramp in the world. And I'm gonna hold on to this Pajuka Bog until after they've milled. And then we're just also perpetually holding this up, so I guess we go Stone Seeker instead? A Fireglass Mentor is pretty nice. Ooh, a Duress. I've always wanted my very own Duress. At the minimum, that lets us get rid of River's Rebuke, and that is huge. Counterspell and Rebuke. That means that they can... okay. Take the Counterspell, so that way we can still deal with the Garuda. Go combat. Go punchies. Hit them for 3. Go ahead and play out Stone Seeker. We're playing to our outs. Alright. They lose more life off the ring. And they still have all the clone effects. And River's Rebuke. Yep. Well, we got rid of their counter spell. I fucked up! Fuck! I was supposed to leave up 2 mana for Bitter Triumph, not... God damn it. Okay, at least they whiffed. That's something. Ah, they did get a Requisitioner. That also sucks. Alright, get rid of the Requisitioner. That gives them a treasure. Alright, pay 3 life. I think we might be cooked here. Alright, Garuda goes. We don't want to play... That's just nothing worth getting rid of just yet. I guess we play the Fireglass Mentor, hope to spike something off the top. Ooh, Mind Spike. Well? Oh, they had a wash away. Damn. Well, now they can River's Rebuke. Yep. Onto our hand. And I would love to see... Okay, so they're just gonna play Stormdrake as, like, a creature. And then they can, like, play clones of the Stormdrake and just take whatever we use. Exchange control. Do you get 4 mana? Sacrifice it unless you pay mana. So, like, they can go ahead, clone it, clone it. They've got 3 blue sources if they top deck into another blue. Also, they're going down to 4. So then, how do we want to do this? We're not gonna play the Patchwork yet. Let's see. All right. We always play our Scaled Scorch. Always play the Stone Seeker. This might be a situation where I just have to, like, bog them regardless. But they're just going to take Gev, and then... But then I have a 3/2 flyer? I feel like I played that wrong. Okay, so they're going to use some of their blue mana to play Brainstorm. That means they can only copy Stormdrake the once. They still can only Stormdrake the once. We're so close. Alright, they're just gonna go for it. Ah, they hit it. Oh, because they brainstormed to set it up. God damn it. Alright, did they get it again? Yep, that's a Starving Revenant. And for each card, you draw a card and lose 3 life. Okay. Well, that ends the Reign of Terror? Question mark? Holy shit! I didn't think we'd get there. So, okay. They decided to go for broke. They went for Garuda to try and chain into all the clones, which is what you do with Garuda. And that does a decent job of, like, stabilizing them creature-wise. But that was like a real... I guess the One Ring was bad enough. Like, they can have the Surgical Metamorph come into play as a new copy of the One Ring. So I guess that's kind of what they were trying to play their outs to. They were just trying not to die to their own card. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, we take those. Aravec the Punisher. You're kidding me. 4 Nethroid decks. And we're on the draw. This is what we call a difficult situation. Alright, so we have like 2 removal spells. Plus we have Flame Cash Gecko. So we do get the tempo of play the Flame Cash Gecko. Get to play a removal spell as well. But if they go turn 1 Mana Dork... I don't think this is fast enough, even with the tempo of Gecko. Strangle. Yeah, we'll keep that. This Smoldering Marsh is going to come into play tap because we don't have enough basics. We do have the Mana Confluence to help out with that. We got Outcast, which can't be blocked. We got Raider, which has Menace, so we have like really good evasion creatures. Hall Monitor. Well, Strangle's not an instant. Okay, we've got some good lizards here. I don't like where this is going. I could play Gev right now. I'm gonna play the Theater instead. One more. We have 4 lands already. I just don't want to play Gev into open removal and basically time walk ourselves. Alright, so that's Rejuvenator. It's going to try and search the top 5 to put a land into play. They find it. Which is not ideal. Let's see, we have all the planning, we have Flare. So if I were a betting girl, which one would I want to play? Probably the Hall Monitor. We can also play the Outcast, so let's play Raider. Yeah, we'll play Gev. We'll play the Raider. The Raider's going to be the most expendable target for Flare. Notably, nothing in Graveyard, so not going to look to mutate just yet. That is a Cavalier. And... yeah, we're just going to go ahead and Flare that. That way, they can get the Marsh Flats, but they're not going to get like anything else that's really good. Baleful Mastery. Ooh, 3 removal spells. No, remember, when this mutates, that's a problem for us. Okay, so I'm going to strangle this no matter what. I'm also going to go ahead and Hall Monitor here. Because we just need that tempo. We'll fell the Profane next turn. This keeps Nethroid from just... ooh. 3 mana fight. Pelucranos fights a creature. Okay. This is where we're in a bit of a pinch. Pelucranos being able to fight like all of our lizards is a problem. And with counters, 6 can attack and just like let them replay any of their permanents. And they can just get Pelucranos back with the Nethroid. Just like no good way to get out of this. Like I have to fell Spell the Profane whatever they choose to mutate on, like probably 6 or even like Pluchronos. But even then they could just like 3, 4, 5 fight in response if they play another land. Don't think. Well, I can make it so that way Pluchronos can't block. That doesn't do a whole lot though. Because remember, this has 0 power. So they just get this back for free. Yeah. Life sucks. Oh, God. And then 6 lets him cast Binding the Old Gods, Cavalier, Elvish Rejuvenator. Virtuous Strength, Murderous Rider, and yeah, it's Jover. Why did we have to fight 4 of these things today? We're like 1 for 3 against them. Which, it's like I say, chat, you can play whatever you want, but the meta is just going to make it so that way you don't want to play certain things. Gotta make sure everything's viable. Gotta make sure everything's within expectations. And unfortunately, I don't think Red-Black really has anything to punish ramp decks. At least none that I can think of. Alright, so we're going first. We're up against Maha. It's Feathers Knight. If this comes down and they manage to get their neg1 enchantment down, the you know the one. It's really, really bad for us. Fatal Push is neat. I would love to see a Duress here. Call for Blood and Ragavan. Okay, we'll keep this. Call the Ring, Ragavan, throw back the Shared Animosity. And then... we just need to grab our Shock Land. Because we're going to want to be able to have the option to play Sign of Blood next turn. Alright, so there's Ragavan, turn 1. They could kill Ragavan. And I would be very sad about that. If they don't... March of the Wretched Sorrows. Yeah, that works. Well... it is what it is. Neither of these is safe in my hand. They could kill Give and also Thoughtseize me. In which case, that was a mistake. I probably should have gone for the call first. Deep Cavern Bat. They're probably taking the call. Playing the Call of the Rain just so that way we have it on board. But the Call of the Rain doesn't actually draw us cards by itself. It needs to have creatures on board. So having Give help us out with that. To do some stuff. We could play Rootwalla. Alright, we're gonna go ahead, Sign in Blood. Try and see if we can draw anything. No. Alright, we're gonna grab Basic. And now that Bat has our Drago. And they have Phyrexian Arena. So they're gonna outdraw us really easily here. Oh, you hate to see Let's see, this is what? Activate only once each turn, but not as a sorcery. I mean, we've got nothing better to do with our mana. Okay, so they're going to let us have it. Better than taking the 4, I guess, and completely understandable. Go ahead, play the theater. Non-creature spells you cast have convoke. Beginning of your first main phase, you can discard a card. If you do, exile the top 2. Let's go ahead and leave that on top. Now, of course, if they have a Wrath here, that is similarly bad. Call the Rain without creatures on board just can't compare to Arena. But overall will be a lot stronger since now we can turn all these extra lands into... Yep, okay. This is what, just 2-0? Yep, alright, so that happened. Alright, here's more Lizard. Yep. They're in full control deck mode. They can go ahead and play Maha now. Maha's got us walled. No, they're going to play Opportunist because now they get to start cantripping their kill cards. Well, at least they're losing life. Kind of. Currently on to Strangle is very sad. Very sad indeed. A part of me says replay. Oh, play more basics first of all because this is a mono black deck that can play Winter Moon. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Like it's just free cards at that point. And if they keep playing spells on Give, well, that is a 2 life tax. Yep, that's Sorin. So we lose our creatures forever. We can never actually like deal with that. I think this is out of our reach. Because we have no way to deal with Sorin now. Let's see, it's -7, take you control target player during the next turn. Gave your first main phase. Yeah. It's Jover. That went off the rails really hard. Bartolomeu del Presidio. Alright, so it's black-white aristocrats, and they're going to put everything on Bartolomeu. Basically just a free sack outlet for them. I like holding on to the Fatal Push and the Infernal Grasp, plus we have Light the Stage and Call the Ring. Call the Ring is not necessarily safe in our hand or on board. I also don't anticipate needing to Fatal Push right away. Oh god. This could very easily be a Mana Tide situation, and if that's what it is, I will be so pissed. But as established, we just don't have like any way to like fight through things if we don't. We could play this. We could play the Stone Seeker. That would let us play Mimic and hold up Fatal Push on the following turn. Am I willing to do that over playing Gev? I might be. But as soon as the Stone Seeker's gone, then we lose the Mimic too. Oh god, this just feels so bad. Alright, I'm gonna play Call the Ring first. No Tithe, okay. All is not lost. Draw a card, lose a life, amass works 1. Well, okay then. They have a sacrifice, so search for glory. Search for a snow permanent, a legendary card, or a saga. Reveal it, put into your hand. Name 1 life for each snow spin. So not gonna gain life, but they are gonna be able to grab Bolas's Citadel. You motherfuckers! All right. We gotta go zooming. We gotta zoom. Go. Combat. Swing. We get to loot. Bolt is a pretty nice card for us to grab. I think we pull out the light up the stage here. But they did just go and grab their win condition. Alright. Bolas Citadel means that they're just going to go ahead and try and ramp. I would not be surprised if they have any sort of like Wrath already set up. This is 2 mana, Party Thrasher, and Mimic. Alright. Go ahead, we'll play the Stone Seeker since that does let us play the Mimic next turn. We'll hold up for Fatal Push and Bolt. Next turn we can go Mimic, Thrasher. I'm proud that this isn't just like straight up Wrath of God. Can't block, comes into play. Draw a card, you lose a card. And then they like to Diabolic Intent. Oh my god. Well, that's something that we would have had to have known that they had. So at this point, they probably grab a Wrath so they have time to play the Citadel. Oh god. We might just factually bolt their face so they have less life to work with. Well... I'll take extra... Oh my god! Perfect. Now, they're probably thinking Creature Wrath. Nothing here has haste. And we got him! Okay, so essentially, because the Rolling Vortex deals 5 damage to them every time they cast a spell without spending mana on it, that's already like, you only get 4 spells, but we're going to knock them down to 13 on this, so they would only get like 2, and then we're going to play, at the very least, like the Mimic here. So yeah, they might have grabbed a Wrath, but unless that Wrath was exactly Plenary Cleansing to also deal with enchantments, or unless they had a Defracture or a Farewell to get rid of Rolling Vortex, then Citadel was just going to actually be the death of them. And that's why you should be including this in your aggro decks. Especially with all the flares out. You've got the flares and the Pidge Elementals. And then you can also keep them from gaining life too. So in that scenario, I'd probably play the Metallic Mimic. We have 1 mana open. And then we either use that for removal, or if they attempt to gain life, then we can use the enchantment there. Alright, it's another Weasel. It's another Weasel! A Reign of Glory helps out a lot. Call the Rain to act as draw. Pyromancer, Flameweaver, and Patchwork Banner. I really like having Call the Rain, especially against the Cruel Claw here. And, like, this is normally good, and the Call the Rain could potentially draw us into removal. But with as fast as these decks can get, I just want actual factual removal. So we'll keep this. And alright, Egger's Awakening. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your battlefield. See, you can discard it. Siege Smash. This is destroy an artifact or target creature gets +3/+2. We can't get rid of the Murderous Rider, which means that Gev is going to eat it. Let's get rid of the arena. Alright, well, it's not ideal. Like, they're going to try and kill Gev either way. But that also means that that's a turn 3 where they're not playing Cruel Claw. Egger's Awakening is interesting because it has Pseudo Madness. When they discard, they can pay black to get a creature card from graveyard back to hand. This has some use in terms of getting rid of like the automaton here, so probably not like what we want to get rid of. Another land is pretty great. We're not going to be able to replay Gev. Oh wait, they didn't have a second black source. Let's see. I could play the Pyroling, and the Pyroling would deal a lot of damage. If that ends up being the case, we still have other draws that we can play. This does have the better upside in terms of like just being a really strong attacker. And this is just more mana efficient. Like, now that the Moloch is down, our removal spells translate into extra damage. Ooh, that is beautiful. That is really, really beautiful. Now, Cruel Claw. They didn't have the extra black. And now what we can actually do is we can hold on to Pyromancer and the Automaton as ways to trigger Pyroling. That is also very nice. Go ahead, play Changeling. They got screwed out of their color. So that worked out well for us. Remember to mulligan, people. The mulligan is really good right now. And if you know your matchups, then you know exactly what you need in order to actually get in these positions where you can win. Because if we kept a hand with no interaction, then we would not have been able to punish them for not having the colors they needed to pop off. Similarly, our opponent kept a hand where they only had one swamp, and their only removal was the Murderous Rider. Also, they had the Phyrexian Arena, but they didn't have the double black to play that either. Jingatha the Wellspring, 5-color. This could be like anything. It's usually just mono black, or not mono black. Usually just 5-color good stuff. For our purposes, we'll hold on to this. We have Shove Aside in case they do have a Mana Dork, a Braid. Can help deal with any of their artifacts. And we have both of our colors thanks to Confluence and Command Tower. I would love to be able to play this into after a Thoughtseize, but that's not the world we live in. Notably, Shove Aside is going to be at sorcery speed because we were the starting player. Okay, so they're just going to go for a tap land and make sure they have their colors. They're not going to be double spelling just yet, so I probably go with Vine Lasher. Yeah, let's go with Vine Lasher. Although getting to play the Blizzard Blades next turn is really spicy. But getting 4 additional power on turn 3 helps out a lot. Keyborn Battler, we can Lizard Blades and then also equip next turn. If they want to go into a Archive, then we'll play Blades and then a Braid. Whenever a player casts their second spell, Day of Judgment. Ow, rude. Well, nothing for it. They did 2-for-1 us, so it's, but thanks to the Offspring card, it wasn't as painful as it could have been otherwise. Sigil of the Empty Throne. Okay, so we are absolutely fucked. Holy shit. Alright, they can just start casting enchantments and make a bunch of angels that we can't block anymore. So, that's cool of them, I guess. If they're gonna start double spelling, then this is the time for us to punish them for it. And we still have the Lizard Blade here. We also have the option of, like, Shove Aside and a Braid. If we draw into another land, we can do all 3. We'll take 2 from our own Battler, but, you know. Another Wrath would be... hashtag problematic? If they Wrath again, I just don't think. Yep, okay. So there's Jukai Naturalist. And there's also Enchantress's Presence. The upside is that they do have 2 blockers. Okay, so how do we want to do this? We've got Shove Aside here to get rid of the Naturalist. And then they take 2, go down to 3. And then we got the Automaton right here. I think Gev dies regardless. I think we Shove Aside always. And now we get him for 2. Alright. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh my god, that hits them? Never deals 2 damage to target opponent? Holy shit. Huh. I did not read Battler correct. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, Battler deals 2 damage to target opponent. So we actually get to play Battler and then a 1-drop and then deal a shock to them. Okay, I need to read my cards. Holy shit, this guy's better than I thought. But okay, we also managed to beat 5-color Enchantress, apparently. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. Normally, this would actually be the Shrine Commander. But so many people see the Shrine Commander, and either they're like, nope, I don't want to deal with that, I'm out. Or, okay, I know exactly what you're about, and then, you know, you don't have a good time. Another issue could be someone's trying to game the matchmaker by trying to play Gigantha rather than the Shrine Commander. Which, like, hey, if you want to do that, that's you. Your commander doesn't do a whole lot for you. So I hope everyone ends up having a good week this week. It's going to be weird having a Wednesday where I'm not streaming. But getting to do the extra writing is going to be a big boon for that. Ulag Shoreless Sea. This is a big fish. And this big fish lets you basically play a free counterspell each turn. Because it reduces the cost by 1 blue for each island you control with a flood counter. And then it comes into play and it just starts immediately flooding lands. So this is another one where I'm going to want to Thoughtseize early on. Hireling can do some good work. Warlock actually has some really good long-term value. But we need to go faster than that. Painful Bond, Raider, Vine Lash. Nope. Take one more. Not what I want. I'm gonna keep the 6 and put back Thresher. Not perfect. And Gev is very, very, very likely to eat shit if I just play him out. Play with fire is not what I want. Alright. I'm going to take this... I'm going to take one turn off from playing something. Because I'm going to attempt to try and draw into a Thoughtseize. Oh, no. Well... It's not a pry bar. How do I want to do this? There's no way they don't have counter magic, which is part of the problem. I can hold up the Abrade. I think I always play the fetch land rather than the slow, because I am very likely to cycle this slow to try and draw into Thoughtseize. But remember, the longer that we wait, the likelier it is that they just, Okay, yeah, they're gonna go... Okay, so they're gonna go ahead and counter the cycling ability to strip mine us. Okay. Did it pay off for us? Because if this doesn't resolve... Okay. That's something. It's not perfect, but it works, and I'll take it. Oh, you have no idea how badly I want to braid this thing right here. So let's go land, tack in. Attempt to abrade the file. Yep, Narset's reversal. Oh my god, I love that! Copy target instant sorcery spell, then return it to its owner's hand. You may choose new targets for the copy. So, Narset's reversal bounces a braid to our hand, and then the copy, well, there's only one legal target for it, don't you know? So they lose 2 cards and give us the abrade. They just 3-for-1 themselves. That is very understandable. Okay, yep. I get you. Might play the Raider here. Even though the mana efficient thing would be to just play Sign in Blood. Although if we play Sign in Blood while they're tapped out, I mean, then the Raider gives us more options to play more stuff. So, keep that in mind, kids. Narset's reversal is not remand. It's kind of like remand. Squint at it. Alright, Alesha who smiles at death. This is one of my favorite decks. It's a reanimator deck that gets to be really, really aggressive. Painful Bond, Profane, Play with Fire, and Magebane Lizard. This is another matchup where I really want that Thoughtseize turn 1, but I'm not going to throw away a Play with Fire. Not against Alesha. Especially if we're on the draw. Woof. We do have this Painful Bond here. That's kind of nice. When the center dies, create a 2/2 zombie. Okay, I know what we're about now. They're going for the of the Aristocrats version, which I don't really like. I feel like Doom Dissenter is really not good. I'll take a third one. Alright. Yeah, I don't really like the Aristocrats version. Dissenter just doesn't do anything. Okay, so we can double Lizard. We can also play the Magebane Lizard, do something on their turn, so that way... I mean, we have options. They want us to attack in... It lets them make a 2/2 zombie. You know what? Let's go ahead and attack in. We have this play with fire. Uh-huh. They would have to, what, triple block to make this work now? Okay. Yeah. We'll go ahead. We'll spend the play with fire here. They do get to make the token. And we'll make a Magebane Lizard. So that's pretty much what I thought they were going to do. I'm going to have to use the Fel the Profane to take out Alesha. I don't like that. This is so dirtily. You're paying 2 mana to make another small creature. And you're trying to get, like, accrued value that way. Oh. Whenever you sack a non-token permanent, create a 0/1. Well, damn. That's gonna be a real gummer. I don't think I have the luxury to kill it this turn. Oh, fuck me. Alright. I still don't like Alesha for this deck. I think Alesha is really bad for Mardu Aristocrats. You could do just so much better with even literally just the Snapdrax. But I'm gonna call it. Sketchy, hey! What is up, Raiders? What were you... Sketchy, what is up? My name is Hero Girl Raider. Hello, Raiders. My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and I'm here to let you know that if I can do it, so can you. Sketchy, what were you up to? Were you doing the Genshin, or were you just doing some more Paladin OCs? Sketchy doodles. It was Genshin. More Genshin today. The Zenless Zone 0 and Genshin. I don't... Oh, I've never heard of Zenless Zone 0. But I hope you had a lot of fun. How's Magic's? It's half and half. We're playing a really dumb Lizard Brain deck, and some of these matchups are really brutal for just head empty smash. Like, Sam's here, and Sam is a really obnoxious deck if he gets going. Oh, Zero's from the Genshin too. Ah, that would do it. Oh god. Can we get there with, like, on the back of just lots of removal? Maybe. Theoretically, it's possible. Sam is obnoxious. You sack 3 foods, return a historic card from your graveyard to your hand, which includes a lot of artifacts. And, like, we have the removal to hopefully keep him off of us. That's a Mox Amber. You hate to see that. Okay. Like, we could play with fire, but I'm really hoping we draw a 3rd land here, so... Yeah. Okay. Well, that's something at least. Go ahead and sack Gev then. That way they lose Sam. Their Mox Amber no longer taps for mana. That's Universal Automaton. That's not what I wanted. This is missing that 3rd, the land drop. I think kills this for us. I very much needed Give to stay on. And unfortunately, a lot of these lizards... So here's the downside to this deck, the biggest one, is that you never end up wanting to play almost any of these lizards before you have a chance to play Give. Which is why it's so important to mulligan to try and dig for those Thought Seizes so you can protect him. Is Give a boy? I don't actually know. Right here, leading off Arena for Glory, Flame Gecko, Rolling Vortex is cool. Throw that back. There we go, Duress. And Cavernous Souls, hello, yes, please, thank you. Okay, well, they're not going to have Tails End off the bat. We have to be very careful. I'm going to go ahead and grab Basic Swamp. Because this is a monocolor deck, we have to watch out for Winter Moon. Alright, so they're going to consider first. Now, what do we want? March the Swirling Mist. Solve the Equation. Nefarious Twist. Exile Terminate Control. Siren's Ruse. Okay, so there's no actual counter spell here. That helps. Return that card to the battlefield under zone control. If it's a pirate, draw a card. Delve is really good. We're going to pull out Solve. We also know that they don't have a Winter Moon now. So, like, it's open season. Let's see. They have one card that we don't know about. Next turn we'll play Pathways on red, and hopefully things will. I would appreciate if things could. All of our red cards are lizards. Alright, we play Give, we attack. Nothing? Okay, excellent. I want Pyroline to resolve more. Isn't this cool? The Pyroline gets double strike every time we cast a lizard from Give. And they're going to be digging really hard. I would not be surprised if March ends up getting used here. Alright. And then land for turn. And also this guy. That's a lot of damage. Now they can still use March of the Swirling here. So all of our creatures are probably getting phased out this turn. Let's see. You can discard a card. If you do, exile the top 2 cards of your library and then choose one of them. You can play them this turn. Let's see, we currently have 1, 2, what is this? Just 2 X target creatures. So all they have to do is exile 2 other cards to exile or to get out our entire board. Drop the Painful Bond. You know what? No, decline. We already know that they're gonna go for it. But this is just gonna make sure that they... No, they didn't! Like, okay. Oh, wait, hold on. No. They face back in before the untap step. Never mind. We're good. Oh, they did it so they could block Give. That was risky, because now we still have Steam Path Charger and Baby Steam Path Charger. They have to have, like, what, a River's Rebuke in order to make that work? Like, 4 life ain't nothing to sneeze at. And next turn, rather than play Give, we're just going to play the Requisitioner here. It's just like 2 extra damage. And this will also force him to, like, use mana. No, it won't. I don't like how that's worded. It costs blue less for each land you control with a flood counter on it. Kind of means... It feels like it should mean only gets rid of the colored cost. But no, it actually just, like, makes everything... Yeah. Decline, play, blitz, go combat, swing in. Unless they have, like, Aetherize or something, I think they're cooked. Alright, we got him. Okay, GG's, Deluge. Oh my god. The fact that... I just don't like that wording. Cost blue less to cast for each land you control with a flood counter on it. Like, I get what it's going for. But, like... It just feels weird. That feels really, really weird. Ah, well. The Eluge decks, weirdly enough, are not nearly as obnoxious as the Tamio decks are, or even the Malcolm decks. I think that's partially because Eluge is just so expensive to get going. Like, you can play in a Eluge deck, and once Eluge gets going, it's a problem. But it's not like forcing you to have that turn 1 interaction. Marchesa, Dealer of Death. We are going up against a lot of control decks today. Well, you know what I like to say. Maul a couple times to see if you can hit the lottery, and then try a little bit. Let's see, Thrasher is a problem. I think I'd get rid of the Inquisitor. And I want to get down Call of the Rain like ASAP. Okay, Call of the Rain resolves. Now we just have to make sure our creatures stay alive. I would need what? Red and also... Wow, none of this feels good. I'm actually going to play the Flame Color first. Like, it's boltable, but it's a creature that can actually, like, get value on its own before we play Give. Alright, there's the Chrome Lantern. So they can still bolt the Flame Caller. It's also just big enough that Fatal Push and Cut are not going to work. Witness Protection Program. I will take that. And there's Arid Mesa. Perfect. Alright, let's explode for a second, shall we? Let's go ahead and, like, do this second, shall we? Ooh, that's really nice. We can drop Sulfur Springs this time. It's already on level 2. Ooh, catch that. Alright. Go ahead, play Give. Go ahead, play Gecko. And we get to cantrip on mana, so now we get to play the Pyroling. Okay, there we go. And then next turn we can double spell again. They're either holding really premium removal, or Witness Protection was their best one, but I don't think that's the case. Alright, so it's cut down. Okay, yep, that's fair. Let's see, this makes it so that way the creatures that have less power can't block. So we're going to cast the Pyroling. Pyroling doesn't get power except for the Pyromancer. Thresher Lizard is pretty cool. Oh, wow. Would you look at that? Pyromancer deals 2 to their face. Pyroling gets stronger. We go ahead and swing the Pyroling. Loot out a little bit more. If we hit a land, I'm probably dropping the Thresher in exchange so that way we can go Thresher Lizard. And if we don't, we probably drop... We could potentially, like, drop the Weaver. Weaver's pretty nice. I wonder if that was, like, the bulk of what they had, though. The cutdown is so weird. Destroy target creature with total power and toughness 5 or less, so, like, this is really good for dealing with mana dorks. But I don't like it in Brawl. You have so many better options, depending on your color. Like, I can see if you want to play a mono black deck, because we're even maybe in black green. But as soon as you go into green, you have all those fight spells. And then as soon as you go into like red and white, you have better removal options at 1 mana. Ooh, it's another Marchesa deck. There's always the option that we don't get as lucky with this. Raider would be nice. Frontliner is good. But we're still trying to fish for that discard. Maybe Fugue is exactly what I want if I'm going to keep fishing this hard for it. Yeah, I think it's worth playing some of the lesser Thoughtseize effects if I'm going this hard on it. Question that becomes like, what are you pulling out for it? Hall Monitor, Strangle, not exactly what I want. Cavernous Souls is nice since it does let us cast our lizards with impunity. Alright, we're gonna keep this and get punished for it. Unfortunately, you're gonna see Ooh, target player exiles a card from the graveyard. Yeah, Scrabbling Cause is pretty good for that. Alright, they have 2 mana open. I play Gev. Gev either gets countered or killed. That is unfortunately just not the way. Like, there are some matchups where you just absolutely have to jam. Unfortunately for us, this is just not the way. I really needed to see another Thoughtseize effect. Okay, real quick pit stop, and then we'll finish out the stream. Again, you can play other creatures in here. They don't have to be just lizards. Play the Dreg Fugue. Artifact creature. We have to exile a card from our hand too. Just gonna play Play with Fire was actually surprisingly good for that. And Fell the Profane is definitely removal. I've appreciated how flexible it's let us been. I used to... Shared Animosity feels like it should be better in this. It really does. But I also just have not felt like we've been in a position where anytime we've drawn it, it's been the card that we need to play. Or anytime we've seen it, it's like, I don't actually like seeing you in my hand. I want to... 5. That is 5 Nethroid decks. What the hell? Dark Ritual, Bolt, Vortex. We might be able to make this work. We can go ahead and keep this. And then we'll go... Let's see... Nothing to do with it turn 1, so yeah. Go ahead, play the slow. And we have Bolt. Gala Greeters is actually a long-term problem that I don't want to have to deal with. Also having 2 red sources. You can Bolt this turn. I just Bolt this turn. Well, the good news is Dark Rit is gonna be good no matter what. This does give us additional red so we can actually do more stuff with it. Ah, goddammit. Sarah. Wait, this is Abzan's sisters? Oh, fuck me. Alright, that's how you want to run it. Alright, so go ahead, get the Vortex down. Go ahead, get Gev down. Play the Automaton. We can shut off their life gain after we untap. Which is good. But this card actually just walls us now. Yep. Yep. Okay, yep. This is a dark day indeed. Oh, thank Bobby Hill. Okay, so we have Go for the Throat. I want to get rid of the Life Creed duo. Rolling Vortex for that. I need to set up Call Haunted Call the Ring now. They can mutate on top of any creature they want. Ranger Captain of Eos. Well then. These are both going to keep getting bigger. Nethroy. Alright, so now they can go ahead, grab a Soul Warden. Like, one removal spell was never going to be enough for either of these. Disgusting. And now that means that I can... Their creatures are just going to get bigger on mine? On my turn? Yep. Alright, we're going to take it. Okay, so... Well, this also starts looting. Oh, god damn it. This is obnoxious. Yep. I just... Oh. Okay, so like, what do we even do here? They mutate, and... No matter what, we need to play the Automaton. We need to attack with Automaton. We have to loot. And... They take the 2. The Crackback, though, is like fucking brutal. I'm gonna try playing this out, but I really, really, really don't think any of this works. Opponent can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Oh, God. This is the worst timeline. If you would gain life. Rolling Vortex is going to be the only reason we're able to do anything, period. Okay, so... You just have to, like, keep chewing through our life total here. Sign in blood ourselves. Flare of Malice is pretty great. Even though it doesn't, like, get rid of the things that we would love it to get rid of. Go combat. Oh, this is a 2/3. Can't be blocked by creatures with greater power, so I can't even, like, attack in because of the stupid troll. No attacks. Land. And I can't actually do a whole lot. The troll actually stonewalls. I have no way to like push damage here. Like, if I were them, I'd honestly consider pushing in with Voice of the Blessed and Trellisar. No? You don't want to? This is what, 2 mana? Okay. I guess if it doesn't really matter anymore. Patchwork Banner's pretty cool. I just don't even know anymore. It's still a land. Whenever Vent attacks, you discard a card, draw a card. I mean, it's an extra creature. No attacks, pass turn. Nope, we've already played land for turn. I will be shocked if we can somehow pull this through, but I really don't see it. Horses you can... Other horses are indestructible. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, make a 5/5 horse. So, like, yeah. I guess they can't profitably attack, so there's that. Let's see. This is at the beginning of your second main phase. If an opponent lost life this turn. I guess we can trade the automaton for something. Don't see it though. Like, the rain is gonna be really good if we actually like draw into our unblockable wizard. All right, activate Rolling Vortex. Now we get to play the Spitter. Yep. Let the fire go to combat. Go to attackers. We're not going to attack. We now get free spell. Instead. This is like some dicey ass scenarios right now. I can Kentucky Numa. I get back this Flame Weaver. Eh! Eh? They've got 9 life left. Very innocuous there. Actually would have been really bad, I guess. They're gonna have to find a way to start swinging in. At least nothing has life. So let's make the spitter. Ooh, light with spectacle. And we could discard a card to try and like draw deeper, but I'm not going to. So there's Flame Weaver. Whenever one more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, conjure a random card. That's pretty good. And on the Scorch Spitter, that actually means that we win combat pretty nicely. So let's go ahead, activate the Roiling Vortex first. Now we can go ahead, Lizard Blade. Now we can go ahead, equip the Lizard Blade. Go combat. Swing with the Scorch Spitter. We do get to free draw this. And then we also have a Fatal Push. We have 4 mana available, so we won't actually get to use the Flame Weaver. Honestly, let's get rid of the Spectacle if that's going to be the case. No, this needs to actually be able to hit. So they're currently at 5. And they're going to have to attack, like, all out next turn. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. The Voice of the Blessed would die first. And then... whenever you gain life, gain 1 plus that. Let's see, we can... do it like that. Let's see. And then we will make the Fatal Push go away? Yeah, make the Orator go away. Alright. Dead. Dead. Now we get to... Infernal Grasp actually looks pretty sick. Let's get rid of the Ranger Captain, I guess? Maybe the Crusted Summare. No, we want to get rid of Captain. Your opponent can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Actually, hold on. Here's a thought. Here's a bright idea. Cast your Light Up the Stage before Infernal Grasping. And then... actually, no, wait. Nope, that's still... were we the starting player? I don't think we were. Alright, we were. Cool. End the turn. We lose the Infernal Grasp because I miscounted my mana. Let's see. Yep, they're gonna cast Ranger Captain, so we don't get to do anything. I could also Crescent some... because remember, they get everything back with Nethroi. Would be basically free if we want that. We can get rid of the Sunmare. Try and get rid of some stuff, like sacrifice the Fireglass Mentor. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of oops, I forgot. I also lose life from that. Whoops. My bad. Yep. Forgot about that. That could have been very, 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 very bad. I still get to cast this if I discard a card, right? So now they get to choose however many cards they want. Get back. We're currently looking at 4 life. This is, it deals, you control will deal damage to a permanent or player, deals damage +1 instead. Yep. Yep. Honestly, just resolve them all. Resolve them all. I can replay Give. It would have been better to replay... sack the Mentor in that case, then. Oh, I really screwed the pooch here. I mean, I guess it was important to get rid of the 5/5, but still. I would love to just, like... draw into something. Alright, so we do take the 1. We're gonna go ahead and... oh, wait, I forgot that we can Convoke. That's also, like, bad. Yeah. Skink. We do not pay the 2, because we can't pay that. No, actually. So, what I can do is... Whirling Vortex. Oh, God. The Ranger Captain actually makes this really difficult. Because what I want to do is Skewer. So let's just Skewer then. Like, why am I making this more complicated than I need to? Oh my God! Oh my God, how did we win that? Holy shit! There is no reasonable way that we should have won that. But Whirling Vortex actually just ended up doing the job, I guess. A 5/5. I did goof up a little bit by using the flare there to stop the Crested Sunmare. Also, in that position, I think you have to like upkeep sack the Ranger, right? I think that's just exactly what you need to do. So, whoopsie for them. But holy fuck. Also, completely forgot about the Convoke from the Thrasher. That could have been neat. Because what we could have done... Now, the Rolling Vortex would have actually just killed us if we had done that. If we had, Convoked everything. Like, we can actually use the Convoke there. And then pay, like, 1 to avoid Rolling Vortex. So that's actually really cool. How did we win that? And it's like, it's just about 3:50. I think we got time for, like, one more quick game. Although that's a pretty good game to end on. So, yeah, let's go ahead and actually just end it there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. We'll talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and some of the things that we could probably change up. Maybe just some recommendations. Alright, so how did we feel about this deck? I'll pull that up in a second. Honestly, the deck is very, very simple. It's the kind of deck that I don't really see myself playing a lot of because there's not a lot of tinker room. The fact that this has a very hardline theme in that it wants to be a lizard deck does mean that you have some very specific stuff that you're looking out for. If a set comes out and you see a new lizard that happens to be in Gev's colors, it's very easy to update that way. So it's one of those pet decks that you can keep to the side. I think theme decks like that are very fun to keep on the side as side projects, as evolution projects. The downside is that you do require a lot of very specific cards to make this work. Flameweaver is an alchemy card that's actually very good for black red. A lot of these being lizards and lizard synergy means that it's kind of weird. I'm thinking specifically of like the flame collar, even though the flame collar is, interestingly enough, really good with Gev because it increases the damage. I tried playing the enchantment version. You probably could still play the enchantment version. In fact, the what am I thinking of? The Mechanized Warfare is a card that I think you probably could play with Gev. It serves us some decent top end, but then that you get into that awkward situation of you play Gev and then you want to play the Warfare before you play Gev, or like immediately after playing Gev, but before you play any of your other lizards. So I think Thresher Lizard is just better for that. Again, the creature quality is not good. Until we get more lizard support, you are kind of relegated to playing some of the smaller cards and some of the cards that are not quite as good. Universal Automaton is neat as a 1/1 that becomes a 2/2. Squitter has some utility, but I'm not a big fan of, say, the Blazing Rootwalla. You have some synergy there where you can go ahead and play it with Call the Rain or any of the Living Thrill effects where you discard a card to draw additional effects to get some tempo that way. All Monitor is surprisingly okay. Like, it's a 2/2 for 1, and it has tap to make target creature can't block those turns, so there's some utility there. We didn't get the chance to really see it today, but in the games where I've had this be good, it's been okay. Some of the Offspring cards are also just... They encourage you to play them later, which actually works out with Gev. Vine Lasher is a card that you want to play on curve with the Offspring cost, and then every land you play turns into a shock, so that's really cool. The Pyroline is actually just one of the all-stars of this deck because it has the Double Strike. In fact, looking at some of these, you probably do want to look at more Double Strike enablers. Oh boy, I'm getting some heartburn. It's 2 words! Yep, so you're probably looking at, say... let's see, I guess you have the quick draw there because it does help win combat. Teamer Battle Rage is also a really good one. Honestly, probably a card we could probably find room for in this deck. You want like a list. Watts, devs, please. I just want to I just want to have things sorted out automatically. Ember Cleave is probably like one of the Double Strike enablers that you really want. It does get cheaper with more cards with the more cards you have. In fact, this is probably a finisher that you almost always want to add in. I don't know why I wasn't playing it. I just didn't even like think about it. So that's something that you probably want. Virtue of Courage could possibly be a replacement for something like a Scrying Flame. I think the Throwing Fire actually benefits because it's 1 mana. But if you wanted a bit more of that longevity, maybe Virtue of Courage is the way you want to go. I don't think so because so many of your smaller creatures already have that. Like if you look at the lizards we have. And to the lizards' credit, they do offer it to us. The Flameweaver can grab a bunch of gas, including Thoughtseizes, including Spectacles, Mayhem, and a lot of good stuff like that. Remember that the creatures do get the counter as long as the opponent has lost life. But if you're getting cards off of Flameweaver, then they've already done that. Let's let's see, Jasper Flint. We didn't get to see Jasper like at all today. That's kind of disappointing. I have played him and he has been cool because Gev is a mercenary too. Thorn Moloch is fine. Battler is actually so much better than I thought he was. Pyrotechnic Performer. Whenever it or another creature you control is turned face up, that creature deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. I have never been in a position where I want to play this card face down and then turn it up later. It's just always been better to play it as a 2-mana 4/3. So in that respect, it's perfectly good. But yeah, Magebane Lizard also has been fine. Like, there's a weird amount of like decent cards here to make the deck work, but nothing that really blows me away. In terms of the flashback cards I was thinking of, Abandon the Post is what I was thinking of. Sometimes you don't need removal. What you just need is less blockers on the opponent's side. And to that extent, removal is pretty much that. But you do get 2 uses out of this. And if it's just one big creature that's really keeping you from pushing in, sometimes this is what you want. I'd also recommend looking at some of the Undying effects. I do really like a lot of the Not Dead After All type stuff. What in the world is... Let's see. There we go. So, and you have some good options. Not Dead After All is probably my preferred for one because you do get the Wicked roll. Malachur Rebirth is the go-to because it doubles as a land, and sometimes if you just miss those land drops, you will fucking die. I don't really like Ashnod's Intervention, but Feign Death is also a good one. So, like, those 3 are pretty good. Supernatural Strength. This can function as extra damage, which helps a lot. So I would probably recommend one of these 3 for overall. And there's just not a lot that you really have to say about this, is what it comes down to. Like, if we get some better lizards, great. If not, fine. Let's see. It's currently got a creature count of 35. I don't think you want to go lower than that, even with the quality of lizards is probably the biggest issue. Most of the lizards are going to be 2-drops. I've been thinking that this deck needs an arcane signet or something just to help smooth out those draws. To help smooth out a bit of acceleration, so that way you can potentially double spell with a 3-drop and a 2-drop a lot faster. Let's see, is there anything else? Spell the Profane ended up being good just because it is good removal. Because it doubles as a bolt land. I don't think that there was anything in particular I was like, this card just doesn't really work. Could take out the Dread Fugue. I know I keep mulliganing for the Dread Fugues, but just want to find a way to get that little extra in there. Honestly, the Embercleave by itself is probably good enough just for that bang for your buck. But that's gonna be it. Lizards. This gets a thumbs up from me. I think this is a very simple deck that plays with a very fun. Oh god, it's a very easy deck to put together and build. It's aggressive. It plays a lot of creatures. It plays a lot of removal, and the game plan is so straightforward that it can actually be used as a mulligan teaching tool. I think we got some good wins, but you also see how quickly the deck gets stomped back. So at the very least, it's one of those, if you're into all-in decks like this, I think you can have a really good time with it. All right, and then next time we come in, we will be running either the bats or the birds. Those get added in. We're gonna go ahead and drop off the stream, assuming that we still have some people out. And then we'll be back on Friday. We're gonna be fighting the Elite Four for our Heart Gold Nuzlocke. And then, nope, everyone left to wrap it up, so that's okay. That is a-okay. All right, so we'll talk to you next time. Same hero time, same hero channel.